The following video is a presentation of Case 3, presented by Group 1, consisting of Monica Guerra, Mario Gallegos, Alexander So, Andrew Suter, and narrated by myself, Ashley French-Gray. We hope you enjoy the presentation. With the general issues, the facts. In 1930 through 1969, Volkswagen experienced great success. However, with the 60s through the 90s, they started to see their sales go up and down, and they hit the lowest point in the 90s. Between 92 and 2002, their focus was on growth in the US market, but they didn't really design an IT strategy. It wasn't seen as important. Between 2001 and 2003, they implemented what they called the next round of growth. Sales leveled off, but they weren't at the expected levels that they wanted. By 2004, they had implemented an IT governance to improve operations and, of course, sales. The challenges they faced were as followed. In 1990, automotive companies started using the internet to help support their sales. Between 1992 and 2002, the focus was not on IT, but on market growth. IT was usually outsourced to a third party. These third parties were not very productive, and they needed a single point of governance, which they designed in 2004. However, they had a very limited budget. Their main stakeholders internally included the chief executive officers, mid-level managers, and of course, any and all employees. Their external stakeholders included stockholders, Parrot Systems, Gaddis AG, and Gates USA. The theories of this case are as follows. Who would oversee budgeting decisions for IT departments? And how would high-level management organize and manage those departments? Also, how could IT help support and create opportunities for the business initiatives? Some of the concepts are as follows. Volkswagen of America needs to define what the focus of their IT department will be and the decision-making process that will take place. What is going to be the most effective way for the Chief Information Officer and the Executive Leadership Team to work together? And how will Volkswagen of America decide which projects to fund and which to pass on? Now let's talk about the problems and the symptoms. First problem, the rise and fall of the sales beginning after the late 60s. The popularity for the Beetle had fallen, and even though Volkswagen tried to introduce new models such as the Jetta, the love affair that the US population had with the brand had drastically decreased. The next major problem was that mid-level managers were just sort of waiting for the new model to save them from their declining sales. Thus, they ended up introducing a ton of new models, but nothing really took off. Problem number 3, in 2004, a new list of prioritization for IT projects that would be funded was unveiled by the ELT. Problem of this was the department requested up to $210 million, but was only given $60 million by the Volkswagen Group. The alternatives for this situation is that, first and foremost, they could just do nothing. The pros of this would be it would empower management to make their own decisions, and to continue on with the old process that everybody was comfortable and familiar with. However, it would limit resources, and there could be the potential for disagreements and conflicts when it came to spending. Their next alternative would be to develop an IT governance. The pros of this would be it would work on strategic goals, it would help sync up the business, it would in place control mechanisms, and it would create accountability. The cons are it would restructure management and the roles they play. Management may resent this, and it may compromise compliance and/or performance. The next alternative would be to outsource project management. The pros of this would be you would work with experts, you would reduce labor costs, and you'd focus on other issues. However, the drawbacks were that the experts may not know about the field. there'd be no internal controls, and Volkswagen of America had already tried it and failed. Here's our suggested implementation plan. In the first week, you should develop clear strategic goals. You should also assemble an IT architectural board, develop an IT strategy, determine responsibilities and accountability. In the first month, we think they should prioritize investments, involve all stakeholders in deciding the investment of funds, and define project management, process, and success. In 6 months, they should fund and implement approved projects, use metrics and forecasting for oversight, and review projects to ensure that the business objectives are being met. Going forward, they should continue to assess risk and make prompt changes, determine acceptable levels of risk, and measure success and compare to the initial goals. Let's review the situation. The company obviously made an error in reducing their IT department following the outsourcing to Parrot Systems. And they had a problem due to so many providers. There wasn't really a single organization that had control over the overall process. They should have created a larger IT budget. $60 million was not significant enough. Their decisions were based on good concepts. They wanted to reduce IT costs and prioritize certain projects. However, the process of prioritization was flawed. It needs to be reviewed and revised. So where is the company now? Well, as of 2013, the group had increased the number of vehicles delivered to customers to 9.7 million. By 2014, this number grew even more to over 10 million. Their share of the world passenger car market is almost 13%. The group currently operates 118 production plants in 28 countries, and it sells its vehicles in 135 countries.